Okay, so I apologize for the delay, but it's Casper here, and we're going to talk about the trigender gender identity. The trigender gender identity is one where the prefix pretty much says it all. Tri meaning three. So basically, trigender people are those who have three gender identities. The most common combination would be male, female, and genderless, but that doesn't always have to be the only combination. Well, alright, thank you for watching. So next video, I'm going to discuss a more or less common known gender identity. And this one is called Hydra. So stay tuned.
You on drugs?
Wow, that person was clearly greased. Clearly, all the signs were there. I'm guessing Seroquel, probably some kind of benzo, a few antidepressants, all mixed together, and that's not good. That is not good for such a young person. Whew. Now, I'm wondering, did you guys get the same Buffalo Bill type vibes that I got, the way the person was standing there holding that little white dog?
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Now, I don't have a big intro planned for today's video. This is the kind of stuff that you actually have to see it to believe it. I wouldn't be doing it any justice by trying to describe what's going on in this video, by saying, oh, things are getting bizarre, this is getting weird. No. You actually have to see and hear this stuff to believe that it's really happening. And, oh, I can assure you, it's really happening. So, let's get into it.
What the hell is even that?
Now, I don't know if you guys happened to notice, because there was a lot going on in that video, a lot of details. But not only was the tongue cut into the shape of a fork, and the nose obviously had some weird cut to it, but that person's ears were missing. That head had no ears on it. Jesus. Anyway, you guys ready to get thrown for a loop on this one? The comment says, what does non-binary mean? I honestly don't know what it means. Roll it.
Alright, y'all want me to talk about my spouse's pronouns? Okay, here we go. I made a video like this before. Got a lot of hate for it. Dylan, my spouse, got a lot of hate. And it pissed me off. It was hard to watch, but I'm gonna do it again. Alright, crash course, you ready? I am a husband, but I don't have a wife. I also don't have a husband. I have a spouse, because Dylan, my person, is non-binary. What does that mean? It simply means that Dylan does not comfortably fit into either of the two gender buckets that were offered to them by their society. The cultural gender identities that are assigned to people depending on how their bodies look from the outside.
Oh my God, you're gay!
I'll be honest with you guys, I was not expecting old country boy to start talking like that. Oh boy. Remember at the beginning of the video when I told you guys you had to see and hear this to actually believe it? Now you see why. Alright, next up, this fella's looking for a companion. Roll the film.
Hey lesbians of TikTok, I'm transgender lesbian. First of all, I want to know, if I'm welcome in the lesbian community. But anyway, I was throwing out a girlfriend application there for someone to be my girlfriend. Anyway, here's what you get with me. First off, I do have a requirement that you drive your U-Haul here. But don't sell your place. Only be here for 1 year. After 6 months, if you propose to me, I will say yes. And then And then from there, it's 6 months to a year, propose to me, and I will say yes. From there, we will get married a year later. And I'm very loyal, and that's it. I'm also clingy.
Are you totally deranged?
Now listen, are we all just getting trolled at this point? I mean, are these people just the master trolls trying to get the last laugh and making us all look like fools? I mean, that person could have been like, yeah, watch these idiots. I'm going to throw on a dress, pretend I'm a lesbian, and watch them lose their minds. I don't have any other explanation. Like this guy. Roll the film.
Am I the only white person who feels like it's a little racist to use the white emoji? I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's just the way I feel.
That's racism, man. I love to racism, bro.
Now, once again, I ask the question, are these people master trolls? Did that guy say to himself, I'm going to throw on some weird sweater, dye my hair pink, and make these people lose their minds by saying that using the white emoji is racist? I mean, that's the only feasible explanation. Anything else would mean we are living in the movie Idiocracy. All right, speaking of Idiocracy, excuse me. A lot of these people think that misgendering or using the wrong pronouns is violence, and the people that do it should be thrown in jail. I'm not kidding. Roll the film.
Let me explain why misgendering is an act of violence. I know this sounds extreme, and I know I talk about this a lot, but this is because the situation is extreme. Getting misgendered as a trans and non-binary person not only triggers the trauma of being conditioned into a gender that is not ours, but it also triggers the trauma of existing in a world that at large would prefer we did not exist. So getting misgendered can feel like a smack in the heart. It represents all that we are up against. And yes, mistakes absolutely happen. But let's say you turn a corner and accidentally smack someone across the face. You wouldn't immediately be like, hey, look, it was an accident. You would tend to their pain and make sure it doesn't happen again. But then every time you turn that same corner, you continue to smack that person. Yes, it may still be unintentional, but at a certain point, the lack of intention is a choice. So maybe first you have to take in the fact that this causes real harm, and then approach your misstep with the level of awareness and effort that it will take to stop hurting us.
What a bunch of
So that person thinks that misgendering somebody is violence, which that's just nonsense. But then we have Dylan, our old pal Dylan here. Dylan thinks that using the wrong pronouns should be illegal. Roll it.
Like the articles written about me using he pronouns and calling me a man over and over again. And I feel like that should be illegal. I don't know. That's just bad journalism.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You are a idiot.
All right, guys, remember this. Remember this moment. Use this video in the future when we look back and say, yep, we all saw this runaway train heading down the track for a disaster, because in the future, it will be illegal to use he, him pronouns for a male. It will also be considered violence to call a person who is a man, which are the last two TikToks we just saw. It's coming. We're not that far away, so use this video as a reference marker that we called it. Anyway, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen for your viewing pleasure, of course. Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by Angel Ramirez from Long Beach, California. Angel, thank you, sir. I truly, truly appreciate the support. Thank you. Now, if you would like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. Let's get this off the screen. Wow.
You look ridiculous.
Oh, looky. What do we have here? These two again. They just won't seem to go away. Now, I pointed this out in a previous video. Now, these two young lads are 19, 20 years old, so at least one of the two, and probably both of them, but at least one of the two has as his header photo of his Twitter profile a picture of Joe Biden. Now, explain this to me. What 19 or 20-year-old is going to have as a header photo on their social media a picture of a senile old man who hates himself? Obviously one that got paid to do that. Let's see what these two knuckleheads have to say. Roll the film, please.
What the Republican Party doesn't understand about Gen Z is we don't like you. You claim you want to appeal to Gen Z, but you call us stupid, you say we're dumb, you say we're indoctrinated. I promise it's a losing strategy. And Gen Z is watching the Republican Party extremely closely as they destroy our environment, take rights away from women, do nothing about kids being schools, and if they think they can give the middle finger to our generation and get away with it, they're sorely mistaken.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
All right, guys, we are going to be wrapping it up on this one because I can't take anymore. I'm pretty sure you guys can't either. That is just way too much brain aids for one day. And of course, we will be wrapping it up with everybody's least favorite former Vice President, Joe Biden. Now, think about what I just said while you look at the screen here. That 20-year-old, 19, 20-year-old young lad has a picture of this guy on the header of his Twitter profile. Oh, I bet the chicks are flooding his DMs, right? Oh. Oh, strange days indeed. Anyway, guys, clearly things are getting crazy out there, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time, love you guys. Peace. Roll the film, please.
And turn this primary from a campaign that's about negative attacks into one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelect. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me, we can only reelect Donald Trump.
I don't know what the you're talking about.
And you ain't black.